cats and kittens out there. My name's Faye Louise Purdom, and welcome to Now That's What I Call a Talk Show. How's everybody doing? Obviously, things are a little bit different. I'm on my own, which is going to be hard for everyone since I'm such a quiet, wallflower type character. You're going to struggle with just me. But we've got a great show. We've got Alexis Michelle joining us, who's going to be on shortly. But first of all, let's get down to business. What has everybody been up to? How are you all out there? I'm doing okay. It's been a little bit of hit and miss, especially with the death count rising and hitting the horrible milestone of 10,000. It just has made me feel even more isolated. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that. I just feel more and more isolated now than I did previously. But not going to get that down. What has everyone been up to? Please drop your comments so I can figure it out. Well, we had a bloody day of it yesterday. Me and Jossie had been criticising the acts for RuPaul, not RuPaul, the acts for Britain's Got Talent, which was really fun. And then suddenly we're all over the bloody telly last night, which was insane and hilarious at the same time. And for me, it just made us feel even more part and connected, that even out there, because obviously we do our shows and we're chatting and we've got all of our guests, but to be on Britain's Got Talent last night was pretty awesome for us. And of course, it was the usual me and Jossie being ourselves, going crazy about dogs, going crazy about adorable children. And for me, it was just a whirlwind. But it looks like we're going to be on 4 of their episodes, and obviously the live shows will be later in the year. But that's really, really cool for us. I'm so pleased. And then we went absolutely crazy viral on Jakey Unsafe on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. He'd had us on one of these YouTube videos talking about Sherry Pie, because we did an interview with Ben, which is one of the victims who came forward and is surviving and rocking and thriving, loving Ben. And he just literally, I thought it was a mention, so Jossie woke up and told us, and I was like, what you on about? What's happened? Like, the way she usually wakes up. And she was like, watch this video. And for like 15 to 25 minutes, we were just popping up in this guy's video. Big respect to him. And so nice to hear that we're actually doing something that he has such a good following he got. He was like, that's a really good thing he's doing. Love it. And then obviously brought us on. And he's going to be joining us next week. Check out our Instagram for updates. And don't forget to share this video. I'm going to be bringing the guest on soon. But I have to talk about the fact that I do celebrate Boris is out of hospital. I think it's great. I think it's nice to have him back in the driving seat a little bit, because as much as he's going to be at home resting, he's not going to be in a hospital and that kind of thing. And for me, I'm like, that is just what I wanted to hear. I wanted to know your opinion, guys. I'll just have a little check of the comment. Are you happy about it? I am. I know it's a bit of a different opinion, but I am really, really happy. I'm just going to have a little comment. Even if they, hi Zoe, hi Victoria, hi Jolly. Hey Chrissy, so nice to see you again. I hope you're doing okay. Well, I'm going to go and bring our first guest on. Really, how soon can you're not even ready? Can you just cure? Love it. You'll be here soon. Well, guys, she's already arrived, as she just told me. I'm going to be bringing on Alexis Michelle. Just about to pop up.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I'm well. I know I said I was going to be in drag for this, but as you can see, I'm still in the process.
Hey, if I'm going to get a free tutorial out of this, then go right ahead, love, because I am dreadful at doing eye makeup. So just carry on. We'll have a little natter. And of course, everyone can just get involved. So first of all, how are you doing? How's isolation? How are you finding things?
I'm doing fine, thank you. It's good to see you again. And by the way, you look gorgeous.
Thank you. Sweet.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. My health has been good so far, thank goodness. And so there's been this thing that happened in a lot of areas, but I know it happened a lot in New York, which is that people when they realized they were going to be stuck at home with a lot of time, they ran out and adopted animals. And
Oh, I like that.
so there was a real surge of pet adopting, which is great because that's such a necessary thing. But it just so happens I adopted a dog about a week before isolation
So cute.
picked up.
So cute.
And the truth is, I don't know where I would be mentally without or emotionally without him right now, because I've been in my apartment alone. I haven't seen my friends or family in person in weeks, and I just think it would have been such a lonely, sad time if not for having some companionship, and also his structure of his when he needs to be fed and walked. It gets me going outside as well.
Absolutely. Well, I've got 3 dogs, and I'm so grateful. I do take them all out together because you've got to. I can't be taking them at 3 at a time, one at a time.
No.
But it keeps you in a little bit of a routine, like a little bit. You know what I mean?
And getting some fresh air, which is good for your brain.
Well, we've had a lot of people messaging about the dark times of isolation, how they're struggling. And we've been like talking to a lot of people, advising a lot of people, but a lot of people were asking if you've experienced any dark times in isolation and how do you bounce back? Like, how do you pull yourself around? Because for a lot of people, it just seems impossible.
So, it's a good thing to talk about because I think it's, there's a lot of people. I read this article and it talks about how a lot of people have just tried to throw themselves into this time of like hyper productivity and getting everything on their list done, everything around the house and every bit of work and every bit of project, and great. If that's like your survival tactic, then sure. But the article that I read said you can resist the temptation or the impulse to or resist the pressure that you're feeling to be really hyper productive right now, because what that is that's like carrying on like business as usual, and to do so is ignoring the fact that business is not as usual right now.
Definitely not.
And so I think that it's important to allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. Now, if you're genuinely depressed, and trust me, I'm sure a lot of people are genuinely depressed right now, there are things you can do and things that I do to try to pull myself up out of the blues. But I have, personally, I feel I haven't been fighting too much depression through this because I'm trying to just stay present in the moment and just deal with each day. I don't think too much about what's coming down the road because the truth is, it's really uncertain right now.
It is, and on a time scale as well. It's not even a case of, oh, well, we know this is going to be all over on this day. It's so uncertain for everybody in the UK and around the world. It's just so worrying for everyone. It's scary.
It is scary. And so I think rather than try to face too much of it at once, just sort of deal with what's right in front of you, which is what am I going to do today? And if the answer is I'm going to lay here on this couch and watch telly all day, fine. And if the answer is I'm going to go for a walk and get some fresh air, I'm going to walk the dog, or I'm going to open the window and just put my head out the window, or if I'm going to stretch my arms up over my head, or if I'm going to work out in the house, whatever it is, I think that those have been the things that have saved me. Because again, without the company of the dog, without continuing to try to stay physical, I would be in a rougher spot. And so I trust that a lot of people are in rough spots right now, and that's hard. And just to try to tackle one day at a time. Don't try to take on too much at once.
That is such good advice. Like, as everyone needs to do is take one day at a time. Everyone is keeping themselves a little bit busy and especially entertained. And we can't not talk about RuPaul.
Sure.
What do you think about this season of RuPaul so far?
It's a great season. Such a talented bunch. Some people I know really well on the cast as well. You know, and I just feel I'm so, of course, so proud of my drag daughter, Jan. She's killing it. And
Robbed this week, though. Totally robbed.
you know, it's hard because the way I've talked about it to some friends so far is I've said Jan deserved to win this week, which is true. But frankly, and this is coming from her mother, I think so did Gigi. It's not that Gigi didn't deserve it. I just think they both could have deserved to win this one. Jan
Gigi's
really
amazing. Like, she is. Her snatch game was just like, wow.
incredible.
Next level.
Incredible and a surprise. I don't think we necessarily expected that. And it was
No.
marvelous.
Well, even Ru was like, I don't get how that's funny. That's not going to be funny. Like, why would you do that? And she was like, no, I'm going to stick with it. And I like that she did that. And then it
made
was
her
such a
laugh.
success.
Ru was laughing the whole time.
Well, we can't even mention Snatch Game without mentioning Aiden. And of course, the backlash he's had from obviously the character he impersonated Patricia Quinn is obviously being discussed, etc. But do you think it's really necessary, this kind of backlash that he's getting, especially the time we're in?
I think Aiden's had a hard time in general, both from contestants on the show, you know, giving too much opinion, not necessarily at the right times. There was definitely a bit of bullying. But it was not a successful Snatch Game performance, and it was disrespectful to the person that she did. I mean, it was very important to me when I went on and did Liza that I was not trying to make fun of her.
Do you remember that? How amazing that was.
I was trying to honor her, you know, and build her up. So I would never want to, if I went on the Snatch Game, it's really doing a person or a performer who I admire and respect and love. And so I think when you get nervous, it's easy to go kind of negative when you're put on the spot and you're nervous.
Yeah.
Sometimes getting negative or nasty is the way you go. And so I think maybe that's what happened a little bit with Aiden. But yeah, it wasn't a great or respectful job. And Patricia chimed in that she didn't like it either.
Do you have top three of this season in mind? Who would you say are your top three?
Yeah, I do. Putting Sherry aside, because clearly her performance is strong this season, but she's out of the running. So putting her aside, definitely Gigi Good.
Gotcha.
Definitely for me, Jada Essence Hall.
Yes.
And I'd say if I had to pick a third from who's left, I would say Crystal.
Oh, if she's going to surprise everyone. I think she is like so talented, so funny naturally, and it is just so it's a pleasure to watch her.
I think she's the sort of runaway personality of the season. I mean, there have been a few. There have been a few, and there have been chances for everybody to share their stories. Rockham.
Oh, massively, yeah. I mean, it's been a season of stories. Like, you kind of had to have a story almost, it feels, to be on. Everyone has a story.
I feel like we fell in love with Rockham. We've all fallen in love with Heidi. And Widow has told some amazing stories.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved what Gigi said about herself and her gender fluidity. It was something.
Well, more validation, really. I mean, it just shows that there is so much diversity in RuPaul, and when it does come to the front, it's actually quite nice to see. But we just don't see it enough, I think.
Right, and you know, the interesting thing is that's how I identify now, is as fluid. I feel comfortable in different skins, if you will. But it was something that I wasn't articulating. I couldn't articulate back when I was on Drag Race. So it's a
Because of the
beautiful.
pressure, or just it wasn't the right time, or
No, I just wasn't. I didn't fully know it about myself yet.
just hadn't developed your inner self. You kind of wanted to see who you were truly going to be. I relate with that, obviously, of being a trans person, but it must even still for you have been more pressure because you are so known.
It put, it took me a long time just to be comfortable with like saying I was a drag queen. I think I've always been comfortable expressing, well, at various degrees of comfort, but I've always known and I've always wanted to express my feminine side.
Yeah.
And it took a long time to like get on board with it personally. And it was really like sort of after Drag Race that I realized, this is not just a performance, and
There's more to it.
This is a part of who I am. It's a part of what's inside of me. And what really drove it home was like, with all the time that I've spent in drag, I've asked myself, do you want to be a woman? Like, are you a woman? And I never had an easy, clear answer.
Well, I've been there, Alexis.
Which led me to think like, okay, maybe you're somewhere in the middle, And by the way, I've got Easter colors, but of course I'm supporting our trans brothers and sisters.
I love it. I love it. Well, you obviously brought it up, and we can't talk about RuPaul without talking about Sherry Pie. What is your take on the situation? How do you feel about it all?
I think I should probably start by saying that Sherry was a very close friend for the past several years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so the reason I bring it up is I just want to put it in context for people. Imagine having one of your best friends and truly in an instant finding out something unthinkable about them.
Yeah.
And suddenly what that means to the two of you, what it means about all the memories you have together. Suddenly you start questioning, what was real. Can I trust it? Can I trust anything moving forward? And of course I felt the trust was broken. But so that's I just wanted to give that as a context.
Oh, no. I think it's a valid point to make.
And it's been a struggle because you can be shocked and appalled and all of the things about something that someone has done. But if they've been very close with you in your life for years, you can't necessarily just in one moment turn off your feeling for that person either. So
I've been
it's kind impossible. Of juggling that as well. Basically, I stand with the victims. I think that it's a really hard thing and a courageous thing to come forward. And so I commend them for doing so, and I stand with them, and of course I believe them.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, I think we're past the point of wondering, did it happen or didn't it happen? I think we know it happened because there have been so many similar accounts, and there has been
the public apology.
And there's been admission. So so it's been hard, and it's been really upsetting, and it's been disturbing. But I am glad that the victims found a space to share their stories, both for their own relief and perhaps closure, and also, as Ben talked about on your program, to make sure that this doesn't happen more.
Massively, yeah.
Because that would be the hardest thing would be to see anyone else succumb to the same targeting and manipulation. So yeah, it's been horrible. It's been horrible to hear about, to witness, to feel for these people. I read one of the articles, and it talked about how some of these guys quit the business after this experience.
Oh yeah, massively. Like, it totally put them off.
And I think that's so heartbreaking, because this is a profession, and before I was doing drag full time, I was pursuing theater, and so it's a profession that is so full of dreams, and it's not an easy profession to get ahead in. And
Did you ever come across anything like that? Did you ever see anything like that in your career? Have you ever even experienced it, or have you just seen it happen and know what's going on? Like, is it still rife in the industry? Like, obviously, Ben really feels it is.
I think it probably is. I've been very blessed. I haven't ever run into anything like that.
Yeah. Thank
Now,
God, though, Alexis. Thank God.
yeah, of course. And I mean, the other thing I would say is there may be this particular sort of manipulation in the field, but I think there's also there's probably a lot of examples of the casting couch, of when people in power actually have
The power.
expected favors in return for casting or furthering a career. And anyone that has any sort of tone even of victim blaming or shaming, I say, first of all, drop it. Don't do that. Second of all, you don't understand what it means to particular to show business, to particular to wanting to be an actor and sharing yourself in this way with others. It's such a deep dream that so many people have. And the truth is, like, you would go to unthinkable lengths to get where you to achieve those dreams. So
Yeah.
I really, while I've been blessed and nothing like that happened to me, I can almost imagine it happening to me, because I have wanted those same dreams for so long.
Someone just asked, in relation to Sherry Pie's social media, etc., do you think like Instagram and Facebook should be closing down her accounts because it's still active and gaining following and etc.?
That's an interesting point. I guess I don't really know what I would say my opinion is, because where do you draw the line? Because there's plenty of people on social media who are inappropriate, hateful, and have accounts that I would love to see taken down. But you really walk the line of expression and free speech. So I don't know if there's an easy answer to that.
I agree, it's a hard one. I mean, even VH1 and the way the show is now edited, how that's been constructed. I mean, last week it was kind of edited out completely. This week it was more impossible to edit out because obviously they had their Madonna performance. But do you think they made the right decision by doing the necessary edits?
I don't know if this is true, but I heard that the reason she was edited off the runway is because it was a Disney-sponsored runway, and that Disney requested that she be not featured on the runway.
So you don't think it'll go forward and be the case of every week? Because obviously it wasn't this week, basically.
It wasn't this week, and I think they'll continue to show her runways. I think it was a specific request from Disney.
That is so interesting. And let's put the bad to bed and talk about something that is coming up soon. RuPaul Celebrity Edition. I mean, I heard whispers, I knew it was something was coming, but do you know anything about it? Do you know any of the celebrities on it? And if you don't, who do you want to see on the celebrity version?
Like, which celebrities would I love to see?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who's on. I really don't know anything about that. They've kept that well under wraps. My biggest hope is that, I hope that there's more than just cisgendered men on it. And
Me too. I hope there's like a woman on it. I hope they do dig deep for this. I hope it's not just like, and I'm mentioning this because it's a typical kind of guy, but when Ariana's brother was on as a dresser, I mean, it was like, come on, he's already ready, like, for the show. Like, that was insane. I hope it's not those type of celebrities, because that'll just be easy. Like, I want to see, like, some really cool, like Danny DeVito or someone like that. That would be really cool. That would be really, really good. Or like Kevin Hart, someone on that level. I'd be like, yeah, I'm watching this.
And I feel like not, you know, it's something that should have happened a long time ago on the show, but I feel that if it, maybe this could be the door opening for more representation on the show moving forward, because it's past time, you know. From day one there should have been trans contestants on the show.
It's probably more likely that there might be on the celebrity version, there might be a trans celebrity who is on, which would be really cool. And I think, I mean, perfect timing. We're all in isolation, so we're all going to watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So before we let you go, because we know you are still a busy girl, what have you got coming up? We've seen everyone dash into live streams, and it seems like good business. Obviously, we've always done it, but we love it. Have you got any live streams or anticipations that you've got coming up?
So lots of fun stuff I'm looking forward to. A week from today, next Sunday, the 19th, at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, I don't know the conversion for the UK, but it's what, I think it's 5 or 6 hours later, something like that.
So it'll be like 8-ish.
So at 3 o'clock Eastern, I'll be doing a special Snatch Game edition of the Digital Drag Fest. So I'll be doing a whole show as Liza.
Oh my God, this is so exciting.
And there's a link in my Instagram bio where you can grab a ticket to that. And then later in the evening on the 19th, well, two things will be happening. First, at 7 p.m., we'll be doing Look Queen, which is a competition that happens here in the city that we are launching tonight online for the first time.
We will share that. We will share that.
And the judges will be Bob the Drag Queen, Dusty Ray Bottoms, and Fifi O'Hara.
Oh, amazing.
And then after that, next Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern, will be the special preview showing of the premiere of Dragnificent on TLC.
Yes!
And then, so that'll be next Sunday night. Then the following day, Monday, the 20th of April, they will be showing the official premiere of Dragnificent at its regular time, which is Mondays at 10 o'clock.
Monday. Oh my God, I love that you've just filled up little parts of my diary for the next wee weeks. That's really exciting. Well, once again, you've been fabulous. Thank you so much for joining me and taking the time to get me through this isolation. I hope you have a great day, and I'm sure you'll be out joining us soon again.
Faye, thank you so much. Thank you for having me today, even in my partial face. And I'm so sorry I missed the appointment last time, so I'm glad we got a chance to talk today.
I knew you'd get back to us. I knew it was just a time delay. But thank you so much. Huge round of applause, and I'm so excited for next week for all the new shows. I'll speak to you soon.
Take care, Faye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, I love Alexis Michelle. She is so funny and just makes my day a little bit better. But I'm just going to have a look at a few questions before we end. We have such a busy week. We have shows on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I think, and Sunday. And all on our Instagram. So make sure you get over to our Instagram. Now that's what I call a talk show, and Facebook and YouTube. We're really trying to work YouTube. But just gonna have a look. Oh, hi Shane Tracy. Chihuahuas. I love them. So cute. Oh, Katrina. Hi Lee. How you doing? So guys, if you've got any more questions, quickly get them on before I go. But of course, I've been Faye Louise. I've had a really, really great night. It's been excellent to catch up with Alexis and, of course, you guys out there. But have a great night. And remember to stay safe, because staying safe and staying indoors will, of course, save lives. Thank you so much. I have been Faye Louise, and I'm just going to click my title run show. And, of course, Jossie will be back very, very soon. Tuesday, I think. So, good night from me, guys. Bye-bye.